Welcome you all for the next session on Module 2, which is the conformal transformation and complex integration. In this session, we shall discuss about the Cauchy's integral formula and generalized Cauchy's integral formula and examples worked on these two problems. In the previous session, we have proved Cauchy's theorem and we have also verified Cauchy's theorem with the help of few problems. So here in this session, we'll continue to learn Cauchy's integral formula and generalized Cauchy's integral formula. So first, we'll see what is Cauchy's integral formula. The statement is, if f of z is analytic inside and on a simple closed curve C. So any curve has been taken which is a simple closed curve, and f of z is analytic at that one particular point and also inside and on the curve, and A is any point within C is being considered. In that case, integral f of A, so this is f of A, this is f of A is equal to 1 by 2 pi I into integral over C f of z by z minus A. I'll repeat, it is f of A is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integral over C f of z by z minus A into dz. So this is what has been considered and this is the result of a Cauchy's integral formula. So here proof, given that z minus A is a circle, we know that also. Z minus A is a circle with center at A, and we shall enclose it by a circle C. So there is a circle z minus A, and that circle has been enclosed by another curve C, another circle C or closed curve C with radius, and C1 lies entirely within C1, entirely within C. So this is similar to one of the consequence which we have already discussed, consequence of the Cauchy's theorem. In that case, if C1 and C2 are the two curves where C1 completely lies inside, then integral over C1 will be same as integral over C. That was the consequence we have learnt. The same concept which we are going to apply here. So this is what as the curve C1 we have considered, and this lies entirely within the curve C. And this circle which we have considered as a C1 and which is entirely there in C1, C is having the radius R and a point A has been considered, and which is the center for that circle. So with that, the function, consider the function f of z by z minus A is analytic. It is given, it is an analytic function which inside and on the boundary of the annular region. Annular region between C and C1. So what is the annular region? The annular region is the area. Annular region is an area between the two curves which is bounded by both the curves. So this is the curve C1 and this is our curve C, and this is our annular region. The region which is bounded by both the curves is called as an annular region. So this is the function f of z is finding analytic and boundary of the annular region between C and C1. So from the consequence, as I told you, the consequence of the Cauchy's theorem says that integral over C f of z by z minus A dz will be equal to integral over C1 f of z by z minus A into z dz. So here C1, as we have seen in the earlier picture, here I'll show you this. As we have seen here, C1 is a circle. It is whether C is a circle or not, we are not sure, but C1 is a circle. Since it is a circle with the center at A and radius R, equation of that circle is z minus A is equal to R e to the power of I theta. So z, retain it here, transfer this A towards the other side, it becomes A plus R e to the power of I theta. So that, with z is equal to that, z, dz will be equal to R I into e to the power of I theta d theta, differentiation of z. And we all know that it is a circle, and a circle with the radius R and center at A, and entire circle has been considered. So angle theta varies from 0 to 2 pi. For an entire circle, always theta varies from 0 to 2 pi. So now let us substitute all that in the consequence which we have stated in the earlier slide. Therefore, integral over C f of z by z minus A dz is equal to integral 0 to 2 pi. So we are converting everything in terms of theta, and theta varies from 0 to 2 pi. F of z is A plus R e to the power of I theta, and the denominator we have z minus A. Z minus A is nothing but R e power I theta, and dz is R I into e to the power of I theta d theta. So now let us further simplify. This r e to the power of I theta and this r and this e to the power of I theta gets cancelled. So this I we can write it outside. Integral with the limit 0 to 2 pi is as it is, and f of a plus r e to the power of I theta into d theta is there as it is. So now r, since C1 is entirely lying within C and it is almost 0. Since a very small curve has been considered, we treat the r radius is a very small quantity almost tending to 0. We can consider it as almost tending to 0. Therefore, when r is tending to 0 in this term, this r is tending to 0, e to the power of I theta into 0 completely becomes 0. So only f of a will be remaining into d theta between the limits 0 and 2 pi. So f of a is a constant. As we know, a is in center and it is any point which we have considered. So it is a constant. I into f of a can be kept outside. Integration of 1 with respect to theta is theta between the limits 0 and 2 pi. So substitute the limit. Upper limit is 2 pi and lower limit is 0. And simplifying, we get integral over c f of z by z minus a into dz as 2 pi I into f of a. So we wanted f of a to be found. So f of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integral over c f of z by z minus a into dz. So that is about the Cauchy's integral formula. The proof is also important. So now let us generalize the Cauchy's integral formula. So it can be applied for any cases likewise. The statement of a Cauchy's generalized Cauchy's integral formula is if f of z is analytic inside and on a simple closed curve C, and if a is any point within C, then fn is equal to nth derivative is equal to n factorial by 2 pi I integral over C f of z by z minus a to the power of n plus 1 into dz. So this is the generalized Cauchy's integral formula. Try to recall your Cauchy's integral formula, and this is the generalized one. The difference is there it is only f of a and here it is nth derivative of f. So have a difference in remembering them. So in order to prove the Cauchy's generalized Cauchy's integral formula, we have to consider the Cauchy's integral formula first and then we have to proceed with that. The Cauchy's integral formula which we know is f of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integral over c f of z by z minus a f of z by z minus a into dz and differentiate this expansion with respect to a. So when we do differentiation with respect to a, f of a differentiation becomes f dash of a. 1 by 2 pi I is kept as it is. Integral over c is also kept as it is. F of z as it is. Dou by dou a, partial differentiation of 1 by z minus a. So 1 by z minus a to be differentiated with respect to a. So remaining everything is same. So differentiation of 1 by z minus a is minus 1 by z minus a whole square into differentiation of minus a is minus 1. So now let us simplify this. So minus and minus is plus. F dash of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integral over c f of z by z minus a whole square into dz. So observe when there is a first derivative here, we have z minus a to the power of 2. So now let us differentiate this again with respect to a. So again differentiation of f dash becomes f double dash. 1 by 2 pi I is as it is. Integral over c f of z is kept as it is. And differentiation of 1 by z minus a square gives us minus 2 by z minus a cube into differentiation of minus a is minus 1. So when we simplify this minus and this minus plus 2 can be taken it outside and integral over c f of z by z minus a whole cube into dz. This 2 and this 2 can be cancelled. So f double dash of a results in f double dash of a will be resulting in f double dash of a is equal to 1 by 2 pi I 1 by 2 pi I into integral over c f of z by z minus a whole cube dz. So now this is equal to this is, you can observe when there is a double dash there is a power 3 in the denominator. So continuing like this, continuing further like this, when we differentiate it n number of times, when there is n here, this should be a n plus 1. So and this is n factorial. So you can observe, I will show you again, when there is an f dash, this is 1 and this 1 is nothing but 1 factorial. And when f double dash, when there is 2, this can be written as 2 factorial. So this 2 and this 2 we will not cancel, we'll keep it as it is. So this 2 can be written as 2 factorial. So f third derivative of f third derivative becomes f third derivative. By looking at f dash and f double dash, we can write f third derivative, which will be equal to 3 factorial by 2 pi I into integral over c f of z by z minus a to the power of 4 into dz. So this would be the third derivative. Likewise, when you go further, the fourth derivative, fifth derivative and so on, the nth derivative would be this. So, and this expansion we call it as Cauchy's generalized Cauchy's integral formula, and that we will be using while working out the problems. So let us see few problems worked on Cauchy's integral and generalized Cauchy's integral formula. So before going to the problems, let us see the working rule. So what would be the working rule? If a given integral, observe the given integral, if it is of this form, integral over c f of z by z minus a dz, and f of integral over c f of z by z minus a to the power of n plus 1 into z over a simple closed curve. First observe whether it has been given this or whether it is given. So first find out whether the point z is equal to a. So consider this, take a point a and that point a lies inside or outside the curve given. The curve c will be given for us and a will be knowing, getting it from the given equation. Observe whether that point A lies inside the curve C or outside the curve C. Case 1. If z is equal to A lies outside the curve C, then both the integrals becomes 0. So straight away we can write the answer as 0. If in case, if the z is equal to lies inside the curve C, then integral over C f of z by z minus a dz by the formula, that is Cauchy's integral formula, it becomes 2 pi I into f of a, and we need to find f of a value. So, and if it is in the generalized Cauchy's formula, it is 2 pi I by n factorial into f nth derivative of a, and we need to find f nth derivative of nth derivative of function f at the point a. So that is what the working rule that we are going to use to perform the problems on Cauchy's integral formula and generalized Cauchy's integral formula. So in the next session, I'll come out with the problems and thank you for the listening.